For the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Outdoors with me, Mike. Today I'm giving you a bit of a video review on a brand new tent from Outwell. So with me here today I've got the Outwell Michigan 4 Air. So it's actually a tent I'm quite excited to show you and sort of talk through really, because it's almost like a different concept to what we've kind of known in terms of the layout. It's been designed to make it something small, compact. You've still got kind of like a wet area, but it's a little bit different to how you probably first originated. Actually, from what you then benefit from is a small compact tent, but from a sleeping area point of view, works really well, and actually living as well. So what we've got is almost like, it's essentially a free zone tent. So you've got sleeping area, is actually your sort of wet dry area is actually out the back, so it's the back sort of left corner, so you're kind of coming in from there, and then this is your nice watertight sealed kind of section. So it sits in Outwell's kind of select collection, so it's a 4000mm high shellac head, runs about a 70D material, so it's a nice strong fabric. So 4000mm generally is quite a good waterproof rating, especially when Outwell kind of consider it more like their kind of entry level tents. So that works really quite nicely as well. We've got tinted windows, so you get a good sort of amount of privacy in there, but still there's curtains behind to also get the level of sort of seal and privacy as and when you need it to. But with windows on all sort of main kind of four corners, it helps when you're inside, makes it feel light, fresh and airy, which is really quite a benefit. We've got the front door, which obviously drops down, so you actually get trip-free access into the main body of the tent. What you've also got then is a mesh door, which zips, and more importantly zips directly in on the bottom. So you do get a proper thorough seal through kind of the main door, and actually the door section into that kind of wet dry area located at the back. That's also has completely sealed as well. So for example, at night you have a lantern on inside, mesh zipped on both sides, keeps the dogs and kids in more importantly, but means you haven't got bugs and that sort of critters coming directly in as well. Essentially 3 inflatable tubes. Each tube is done individually, so there's a point located on the other side. So it's a kind of a dinghy style valve, so what you would essentially do is peg the main 4 corners, insert your manual stirrup pump supplied with the awning itself, with the tent, and then pump it up, so it's very nice and easy. There also are additional bracer bars which come included just to span this middle section, just to give a bit more support, because it is a slightly wider span in this main part, and you can sort of see that really from this nice big open big window. Avoid the bar. So again, that works really quite well, but it's the details that really kind of do it for me when it comes to Outwell. So the way the workmanship is put together, even though it's necessarily considered more of a price pointed product, it's the DNA of how it's put together and the features levels is still unlike anything else really when we talk about this sort of price point. Things like, for example, the way they workmanship on the guide points, what you find is it actually spreads the load and goes into both sections, so it means from sort of wear and tear generally, you find actually either side, you position it how you want to peg it and guide it, but more importantly, it's taking it through 2 solid seams, so again, much more structurally stable. Little retainers as well as quite a little detail feature, and also high visibility guide rope with a slider and adjuster, make it easy once you've pegged it, you can still tweak it. All of the main points have like a little webbing strap with a puller as well, so you can get it firmly in. Even on main points like this, for example, what we notice on the end of the point here, there's actually a bit of webbing strap that goes directly back into the seam, so it spreads the loads and keeps it really nice and sort of structurally. You're pulling almost the main point and into the seam as well. So that's again a nice little feature to be aware of. Other things to be pointed out is the main kind of door entry point is in here. So this is going to be the point where you kind of come in, take your shoes and socks off. There is a door that also keeps that shut. So again, it keeps it all self-contained. So you're almost going to come in directly in here and then into your main living area. So I think it offers enough shelter section. Admittedly, I'd probably say you're not going to quite be able to cook underneath it, just from the headroom point of view. But for storage, I think that works well. You can, if you wanted to, buy the extra kind of canopy tarp, which attaches onto here and comes off the front of it. So they do an M and L, so you can get extra sort of cover from the roof section if need be. So that works well. In fact, let's bring the camera inside. Actually, we'll go through some of the features that it has. So as we kind of come inside, you can sort of see kind of the setup we've got. So it's very kind of living orientated. like I said, we've got this nice big wide open living area. So the main body size is about 380 width by, I think it's 425 deep. In terms of pack size, decent sort of pack size, weighs approximately 28.8 kilograms, but all into one bag directly. But for me, it's that width. For a small little tent, it's essentially a 4-berth tent, but something a little bit different in that sense. The joys of it as well is that you've got essentially a bedroom section here, a 120 bedroom, 120 bedroom. Really, you're probably going to say this is going to be more of a true free or a couple's tent, I think, ideally. The divider can sort of toggle up and then basically rolls up to the top point, as we can see it here. But you've also got key high-end features, things like the quick and quiet bedroom door. So this basically allows you to come and go into the actual tent itself without having to go through or use zips into the door itself. So what you can do, if I've prepped it ready, he says, so we can kind of just basically walk into the door, and that door then closes behind us. We've also got obviously a mesh part built into here as well, so we've got airflow directly into the tent, so you've got great versatility. But you can use it as a conventional door if you don't want to sort of utilise that point there. And of course roll that back. The bedrooms are actually slightly bit deeper than your standard kind of bedroom, so around about sort of 220 in terms of internal size. The point of this being is actually you can get things like a high-rise airbed in quite happily. And also what you find is that it's just overall kind of better depth. With the design of the tent, it's actually got a very kind of boxy back section, so it is quite vertical at the back here as well, and that helps to kind of make it feel a bit bigger. Like I said, I'm about 6'2", and I can stand in the bedroom, so I can happily get change if I wanted to. We've got a mesh part located at the back here, which obviously gives visibility out to the back of the tent as well. But of course, then you can sort of toggle it down when you don't want to, and there's an external one you would then zip up. And then you can also, when you want to head out of the tent, you can head out that way. It is raining, so you haven't got to worry about it. We've got extra bars which are in this section here. Again, that helps to brace the actual whole Michigan. Works well, and like I said, that great sort of visibility through the crystal clear windows across there works nicely as well. There's little curtains located on the bottom, which you then just toggle up halfway, or you go fully up to the top when you want the full amount of privacy as well. We've also sort of utilised the bedroom section itself with the lighting system, so you can actually then have it all quite nice and neatly. So if you add lighting out without having to worry about it. You have got Outwell's hook track system in here, which allows you to have a little hanging point. In fact, let's bring the camera in just to show you a bit further. So bring the camera, so you can see we've got Outwell's hook track system here. So it gives you the ability of hanging a light quite nice and neatly on there. So it just creates a little point. You get these little clips that clip onto that. It's like a closed peg kind of design. And then it goes nice and neatly up, and we can see kind of that pole that I aforementioned previously. Bedroom section is a nice sort of darker fabric as well, so it helps kind of reduce morning light. And then there's also little pockets located at the front here to help declutter the tent, and you've got a cable entry point into the main body of the actual tent itself. Again, you've also got a cable entry point which you kind of would take either through the door, which will lead into your sort of side section, or there is one located, I believe, on this side over here, so you can see cables come directly in from there, and there's little Velcro tabs located down low if you want to take it around. The beams are kind of a bit more beefier than other models as well in the same collection, just to take that extra bit of size. But you can see we've got a mesh door located there as well as a normal door, and then we've got a kind of little seating area, or for me it's more of like a sheltered area to and from it. We've also got additional strapping, which is like the Velcro straps, is something that Outwell use to really kind of, I suppose it stops any twisting or torsioning in the beams, gives you a more solid structure, so that works really quite well. And then when we sort of come back, we've got this really nice big ventilation point located at the back here. Now this obviously gives you best amount of airflow. When you want to seal it, you can obviously pull that down, zip it shut, or there's a little kind of kickstand, so again it can be still kind of open, allow ventilation to come underneath and keep it on nice and tidy. And I've just got extra points at the top just to keep it belts and braces. But I think, like I said, a little skirt for kind of the area, but I think how it sits and how you're going to kind of utilise it, I think is a really good option. Like I said, having the ability to kind of come in here, take your shoes and bits off, and then come into your nice kind of open kind of area. So you can sort of look around and you've got great visibility the whole way around. I think it works really smartly. The bracer beams, but I think just again it's just very livable. It's probably the term I'd use most. Like I said, with the tinted windows as well, just give it a little bit of air of class. I think it just sits and looks really quite smartly, really. The way obviously Outwell do a lot of things is quite, yeah, it's quite thorough. It's the best way I'd probably put it. It's, I don't know, it's just, I think it's quite nice to have something a little bit different as well. Conventionally, tents are all kind of the same. The fact that you've got a trip-free access in the front section, but of course you can get the seal, I think works well. Of course, when it's raining, you're into the back section. Yeah, the thing is, there's a lot of things I do really like about the Michigan. And again, it's not something too heavy, being at the best part of what, I said 28.8 kilograms. It's not too much heavy to handle. You've got a range of carpets and footprints you can buy for the model just to kind of make it a bit nicer. Other things, like I said, with the detailing of the quick and quiet doors, the mesh, the hanging points, the lighting, the extra bracing bars, there's a lot kind of going for it. I think for someone who doesn't want something that's too big but still wants functionality, bear in mind more than half of the tent itself is dedicated to living. I think that's when you're on a rainy day, that's where I think works well. You know, what do you say? We say 3/6 is living, 1/6 is kind of like your entrance section, and then obviously 2/6 is down for sleeping. So yeah, I think on the whole works really well. It's nice to see something with a lot of care to detail, good specification for something that's kind of is a more price pointed product. It feels quite premium, if I'm being honest with you, from just standing inside here. Just it's a nice place to be. It's a really nice place to be, and certainly one we have on display at our indoor showroom, so you can always come and check it. There is different version of this. If you want a higher spec model of this, they also do things like the Maryland, and they do a polycotton version as well, which is the Virginia. So there's a few models if you like the concept of this and you want something with higher specification, be it the fabric or some more features like zip dividers, and those are a 5 rather than the 4. That's also ones to look at, and we've done sort of separate video reviews on those as well. But on the whole, good product, nice sort of space side. If you have more questions or queries, and you want to see more about the specifications about it, you're always welcome to check the link below this video, take you through to our website. We have all the bits located there. Pack sizes, floor dimensions, individual features all listed. And of course, we always like to hear feedback from yourself as well. So feel free to let us know what you think of the Michigan. But that's kind of a little video review on this brand new and kind of exciting Outwell Michigan 4 Air tent. So yeah, hopefully we'll see you again soon. But thank you very much for watching.